Coming up, lots of high school football to talk about, some jamboree games last night. We'll open up the mailbag and more coming up on Southern Sports Now. Welcome in on this Friday edition of the show. It is August the 18th, 2023. I'm Chase Robinson, your host. Glad to be along with you on this Friday as we're getting closer to the football season. Some jamboree games last night, some more tonight, and so we'll talk all about high school football, college football here on the show today. So let's buckle up, jump right into it as we'll look at our countdowns to football season. We'll start with our countdown to college football. We are 8 days away from the college football season kicking off. 8 days away from August 26th. That is week 0 of the college football season. That is next Saturday. And so you can check out the Jack State Gamecocks next Saturday. They're part of week 0 lineup as UTEP will be coming to JSU Stadium to take on the Gamecocks in the FBS opener in the Conference USA opener. And so Jack State with a big game next Saturday in week 0, part of that handful of games happening. Most of the college football games will kick off on Labor Day weekend, the first weekend there in September, the following weekend. So college football right around the corner, 8 days away, just over a week away from kicking off the college football season. High school football, yes, we are less than a week away. We are 6 days away from the high school football season. Next week is game week. Next Thursday night will be week 0, the official start of the high school football season. I mentioned some jamborees, and we'll talk about those here in just a minute. But the official start week 0 of the high school football season begins next Thursday, August the 24th, with a handful of games. Most of the games will be played next Friday night, but 6 days away from the high school football season. So excited about that as, really this weekend is our last weekend without football. Of course, next Thursday we'll have high school games. Next Friday we'll have high school games. And next Saturday we'll have college games. So this is the last weekend without any football on TV. So if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does. I mean, it is so exciting to have football season here and right around the corner. But super excited, not only for high school football to start, but Jacksonville State to start next week. There's a lot to be excited about Gamecock football. And we actually have a question about JSU coming up in the mailbag we'll get to coming up in just a little bit. But last weekend without football, fired up about that. Mentioned some jamboree games happening last night, so we want to bring you some intel, some of the things we've learned from these jamboree games about some of these teams. We'll start with Oxford. I actually was at the Oxford-Fort Payne game last night up at Wildcat Stadium in Fort Payne. How they did this one, and it's typical across kind of the standard for jamboree games. First half, you see the varsity. You see, just like a regular high school football game, everything's live. They do it just like a regular game. Second half, the kicking was not live. A lot of the JV guys, second, third string was in. But in the varsity portion last night, Oxford won 21-0. So the first half, Oxford put up three touchdowns, 21-0. Oxford won the first half. They ended up winning the game 28-3. They were able to score a touchdown there in the second half with the second, third strings, and only allowed a field goal for Fort Payne. So Oxford beat Fort Payne 28-3 last night in the jamboree game. Some things I took away from the game is there's been a lot of talk about quarterback Mason Mims for Oxford, and boy, he looked good. He was 15 of 23 last night, 164 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night there for the junior Mason Mims. And he's got some weapons around him too, which I think that really helps him. But he sees the field so well. He moves really quickly, really like Mason Mims and his potential for this season. But he's got some great weapons around him. I think of a guy like Kamari Hampton, who transferred in to Oxford. I mean, he's a dangerous receiver. He's one of those guys, you put the ball anywhere in his area, he's going to find a way to get up and get it and make a play. So Kamari Hampton's going to be fun to watch. He's one of those dangerous weapons around Mason Mims. Also, Judd Sire had a really good game last night, and a lot of hype around him heading into the year. Jaden Thomas looked really good at running back, as well as DK Wilson. They both had some really good runs and were able to get out in the flats and make some catches too. So a lot of weapons around Mason Mims this year, which I think is going to really help Oxford. And I'm just from what I saw last night in that jamboree, there's a lot to be excited about when you look at the Oxford Yellow Jackets football team this year. So excited for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see what they can do in their tough 6A region, but they start off with a win in their jamboree against Fort Payne, 28-3. Oxford will begin their season next Friday night on the road at McAdory. Now, another jamboree game last night was the Jacksonville Golden Eagles as they went over to Jack Stewart Field at Sachs. We had a Jacksonville Sachs jamboree game last night, and Jacksonville walked away with a 41-0 win over Sachs in the jamboree. Again, varsity played the first half. You saw some of the younger guys come in the second half, but kind of like we talked about Mason Mims at Oxford, Jim Ogle, quarterback at Jacksonville, is advertised. Is as good as advertised, kind of picked up right where he left off. He threw 5 touchdown passes in the first half of this jamboree game last night. Really an incredible quarterback. Troy commit, we know what he's capable of. We've seen him start the last couple of years for Jacksonville, so they've got a very experienced quarterback coming back in Jim Ogle. But just like we talked about with Oxford, Ogle's got a lot of guys around him that are playmakers. When he puts the ball in the air, they're going to make a play. And so he's got some really good receivers around him, really good running back room as well for Jacksonville. So offensively, the Golden Eagles are set. And some really good weapons around the Troy commit, Jim Ogle. Looking at Sachs, some growing pains, I think, to be expected for Sachs. They lost a lot of guys. New head coach in Alfonso Freeney. It may take a little bit for this team to gel, for you to see So some of these younger guys step up and lead the team. I mean, they're led by a freshman quarterback, Jamaris Young. He's got a bright future, but he's going to have to get acclimated with the new system, with playing at a high level. And so I think Sachs has a lot of younger guys on the field that they're going to have to rely on. Not many seniors on this team, and so They've got some experience coming back, but a lot of these new guys are having to really learn on the fly and learn to play at a high level. So maybe some growing pains with Sachs, but a lot of younger guys. So there's a big future to build on there at Sachs. But Jacksonville walks away with a 41-0 win over the Wildcats in the Jamboree. Also, last night up at Coosa Christian, Pell City and Handley were playing the Conquerors there at Coosa Christian. Pell City beat Coosa Christian, lost to Handley. Handley won all of their games, and some really good football played there at Coosa Christian with those three teams there. But some more jamborees tonight, and we'll talk a little bit later on this show, kind of give you a schedule of what the jamborees are tonight. But it's always fun to be able to see these games, to see teams not hitting themselves and playing someone else. You can learn a lot about a team by seeing them in a game-like situation, and that's definitely what coaching staffs were looking for last night in these jamborees. But it was great to see Oxford last night. Can't wait to see other teams across the area, but more football tonight and some jamborees. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up later on. We'll jump to a break here. Coming up, we'll open up that mailbag. We'll have a high school football team preview coming up, all that as we roll on here on Southern Sports Now.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
We're back here on Southern Sports Now on this Friday. We've talked a lot of high school football so far. More high school football to talk about later on in the show. It's about that time, folks. I mean, we're less than a week away from the regular season beginning in high school and college as well. Just over a week before college football kicks off. But as we do on Fridays, we open up the mailbag. So let's do that now here on the Southern Sports Now mailbag. First question up is it's a good one involving Auburn football. Will Peyton Thorne being named starting quarterback? With Peyton Thorne being named starting quarterback, Freeze did that yesterday afternoon, said Peyton Thorne's our starting quarterback. So the question here, will Robbie Ashford still have a chance to compete for the job? It's a great question. Absolutely. Peyton Thorne, I think, gives Auburn the best chance to win games. And that's what Hugh Freeze and the coaching staff are looking for. Which quarterback fits in our offense, which quarterback gives us the best chance to win. And I think from what the Auburn coaching staff has seen, that's Peyton Thorne. But that doesn't mean that Robbie Ashford's never going to see the field or has no chance at starting anytime this season. Absolutely not. And Hugh Freeze even said yesterday there's some specific packages for Robbie Ashford. So that gives us an indication that we will see him play. In the UMass opener, we'll see Robbie Ashford take the field, take some snaps, and run those packages that he has. There's no doubt about that. And if he performs at a high level, if Peyton Thorne ends up struggling, they've seen him in a scrimmage, but they've never seen him out taking snaps in a game. Not for Auburn, not with his coaching staff, not with his playbook. And so you can't just say, oh, well, he's the guy for the rest of the season. I think Robbie Ashford does have a chance. From what I'm hearing, he has gotten better. I know a lot of Auburn fans were like, well, based on last year, I don't want him starting. Well, I think he's gotten a lot better. We've seen what Hugh Freeze has done with quarterbacks in the past. Think of Malik Willis most recently at Liberty. He was at Auburn, transferred to Liberty, and was drafted first round out of Liberty. And you think of Chad Kelly, Bo Wallace, those guys from Ole Miss that Hugh Freeze literally changed their career at quarterback because he's a great quarterback coach. So you put a guy like Robbie Ashford in a system with a guy like Hugh Freeze, with a guy like Philip Montgomery, too. He did incredible things with Davis Brin out of Tulsa last year. So you put both Peyton Thorne and Robbie Ashford in with these great quarterback coaches, they're going to be different quarterbacks. And I think Robbie Ashford will be a different quarterback playing under Hugh Freeze and Philip Montgomery. But I think we will see him. I think Peyton Thorne's the guy, though. I've thought that since the beginning. They wouldn't have brought him in if they didn't want some competition, if they didn't think he was capable of the starting role. And so I think he's kind of been the starter in my mind since day one, since he came to Auburn. But that was made official yesterday with the announcement. But certainly can expect Robbie Ashford still will be competing for the job as he gets the chance to play in some of the games moving forward. So it's just my thoughts there, but I think it was a good pick for Hugh Freeze and company to name Peyton Thorne their starting quarterback. Another question here in the Southern Sports Now mailbag. How many games can JSU win in the FBS? Great question. And it's going to be fascinating to watch this year. I mean, you've got a team who you think back to early 90s, JSU doing great in Division II, won a national championship. Then they moved to what was then the Division I AA, which we know as FCS. And it took a few years. It took a few years because it's different football, different teams. They're playing at a higher level. And so I think we're going to see that now again. You're playing teams week in and week out that have had this, bigger number of scholarships, that have had more resources, that are bigger, faster, stronger. You're going to be playing these teams week in and week out. Unlike, and JSU has typically always had at least one FBS team on their schedule every year. They've won some of them, they've lost some of them. But this is a different brand of football week in and week out for Jacksonville State now. So when you say how many games can they win, I think it's hard to say at this point. I think 5 wins would be great. 6 wins, fantastic for this first season in the FBS. I can't wait till the JSU's playing in a bowl game. I can't wait for that. But I think realistic expectations are important this year more than ever for Jacksonville State, just because there very well could be some growing pains moving up to FBS, getting used to playing at this level against these teams, bigger, faster, stronger, all that. So it could be an adjustment, and it will be an adjustment. I think they have the best coaching staff to help with that adjustment, to help with this move up. You couldn't have put a better staff together for that. Rich Rod has been at the highest levels: West Virginia, Michigan, Arizona. He is a great fit for this transition to make sure the team is ready to play at the highest level because he's been at the highest level. And so I think this is going to be an interesting season. It's hard to tell again. How many games they're going to win or the potential to win because you just don't know. You don't know until they take the field next Saturday to see how they perform at this high level. But I'm excited. I think this team can do great things. I've watched them practice multiple times. I like what I see. There's a lot of talent, starting with Zion Webb coming back, year number 7. He's a great leader. He knows the offense. You got a guy like Logan Smothers at quarterback as well, transferring from Nebraska to Jacksonville State. Got some great receivers, and the running back room is solid. I mean, this is a good team, but you're also playing really good teams week in and week out now. So it's going to be interesting to see this year how JSU can do, but certainly excited to see what the Gamecocks can do coming up this year as they move up to FBS, as they move into the Conference USA. Really excited for Jacksonville State football next Saturday. Historic day at JSU Stadium in Burgess Snowfield coming up next Saturday. So go out and support the Gamecocks. If you're around the area, go out to JSU Stadium next Saturday, 4:30, and watch Jacksonville State in their FBS opener there against UTEP, also nationally televised on the CBS Sports Network. So that is very exciting as well. Appreciate the questions in the Southern Sports Now mailbag today. And we do this every Friday, so go ahead and submit your questions. You can drop them down in the video, and we'll get to those next week here on the show. We'll jump to a break here. Come back. We will preview another high school football team as we count down to football season. We'll do that on the other side. Stick around. More Southern Sports Now to come in a moment.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you Southern Sports Now. Ted's Floors and Beyond, your headquarters for all things flooring. They've got hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl there in their flooring selection. They also have their partnership with Welborn Cabinet to offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers, and more there with their partnership with Welborn Cabinet. And now they can enhance your outdoor space, your patio, your outdoor kitchen, around your pool. They've got specialty tiles and stones and workers that are ready to help you with your outdoor space. So Ted's Floors and Beyond, your headquarters for all things flooring and now outdoor space and kitchen or bath makeover. You can get it all done. Ted's Floors and Beyond. Go by them, see them on Highway 431 in Anniston, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online, shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Back here on Southern Sports Now on this Friday. We've talked a lot of high school football so far. We got some more high school football to talk about here as we have another team preview for you. We've previewed a lot of teams here on the show so far as we count you down to the high school football season. And today, we'll preview the Pleasant Valley Raiders playing in Class 2A. And Pleasant Valley last year, you go back to a season ago, they finished 5th in 2A Region 6 and finished with a 4-6 record. Some games in there they thought they should have won, but this team, you can tell they're hungry. I was able to watch them some this summer in 7-on-7s. I like what I see. Just talking with Jonathan Nix at Calhoun County Media Day. He likes what he's seen from his team so far. And one thing that stands out to him, and he talked to me about, was the battles at different positions on the field, and the fact that this year they've got so many guys, they've got some depth. So guys who may have started last year or have experience, they're having to battle against other guys on the team for their position, and that's something that they haven't seen at Pleasant Valley a lot, but something Coach is really excited about this year.
You know, we got 4 out of 5 of our offensive linemen back, our whole D-line's back, with a couple of kids that are now playing that's going to push for starting spots. I mean, we've got a couple of positions that we're possibly going to have a kid or a couple of kids that played 10 ball games for us last year that might not start this year.
Wow.
Now, when I say he doesn't start, that doesn't mean that he's not going to play. It's just he might be on a limited rep. And so competition has been really, really tough this summer as far as if I'm a starter on one of these positions. Now we have some, weak spots on both sides that we're still fighting for that to see who wins those starting spots. But, for us coming into a season and having some depth is a good thing.
Another thing that's got the Pleasant Valley Raiders coaching staff and players excited is not only the amount of players, but the experience they are able to lean on coming into this 2023 year. Coach talks about, a lot of times guys will just come out for their senior year and play or whatever, but they have a lot of guys now who have been in the program for multiple years. They've learned the system. They've learned the game of football, and now they're able to kind of take that experience and take it out there on the field with them each week. So that's another bonus for this year's Pleasant Valley team.
It's the most kids that have played 3 years. The thing that was, that we're trying to break that habit, and it's a slow process to break, is for whatever reason I want to come out for football my senior year.
Yeah.
And that's just a tough deal, you know. And maybe, sometimes seniors see that, hey, this is it, and so let me try this. Well, that's a tough sport to just come out then.
We mentioned Pleasant Valley finished 4-6 a season ago. A lot of close games, some games that maybe they think they should have won. Some really close ones, maybe a touchdown game. And so they look back at last season. They see maybe they had a shot at the playoffs with a couple of those wins. They finished 5th in the region. Top 4 teams go, so they very well could have gone to the playoffs last year. And so Coach sees this team as very hungry. They want to win. They want to kind of move to that next level, get a playoff game, maybe win a playoff game. So they're looking and wanting to finish games. They want to finish what they start. They didn't do that every week last year. They're looking to do that this year.
Out of every year that I've been at Pleasant Valley, last year's locker room and the Weaver game, even though the kids won, that's the saddest team that I've coached at Pleasant Valley that did not want the season to be over. So they just knew that they were a playoff team. They had the opportunities to, to capitalize on some of those ball games, and and that's kind of what these seniors. We only have 6 seniors this year, but our seniors and juniors have really got together, and they've said, "Hey, how do we make the most of every opportunity we get?" Like we lost 3 ball games, right there in final possession, and a lot of that was with some of the youth. And so it's capitalizing on opportunities, the ability to finish.
Let's take a look at the Pleasant Valley Raiders schedule now. They're going to be open on the 25th on week 0, so no week 0 game for Pleasant Valley. Their first home game will be September the 1st, their first game will be September the 1st at Donahoe. So they'll play up at Lentz Field at Donahoe. Take on the Falcons. September the 8th will be their first home game as they take on West End. September 15th, they go on the road to Holly Pond. September 22nd, they're back at home against Cleveland. Another home game on the 29th. It'll be homecoming as they take on Raglan. They'll open up the month of October on the road at Locust Fork. They'll take on Spring Garden on October the 13th on the road there at Spring Garden. October 20th, they'll make the trip up to Southeastern. October 27th, they will host Gaston, and they'll wrap up the regular season on November the 2nd. That is a Thursday night as they host the Weaver Bearcats, a little Calhoun County matchup there to end the season. Their non-region games there, Donahoe, Raglan, Spring Garden, and Weaver. So Donahoe, Raglan, Spring Garden, and Weaver are the non-region games. Then, of course, their region in 2A, Region 6, West End, Holly Pond, Cleveland, Locust Fork, Southeastern, and Gaston. And so, tough region there in 2A. Mentioned they finished 5th last year. They're looking for a spot in the playoffs this year. They've got a tough schedule, though, to be able to get there. But, you can tell this team is hungry to win. And Coach told me back when I was talking to him during the summer, they were having a lot of guys showing up early to work out, staying later, wanting to get extra reps in. So I think that's really big for this Pleasant Valley team this year, is the fact that these guys are hungry to win. They want to prove themselves. They want a spot in the playoffs, and they want to win some games this year out at Pleasant Valley. So looking forward to keeping up with the Raiders this year. They're at Pleasant Valley. They are our high school football team preview here on this Friday. We'll jump to a break, come back, wrap things up next here on Southern Sports Now.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits. with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room, and the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
Heading into our final segment here on this Friday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And we've enjoyed bringing you this show today. And we've got a little bit more time to tell you about another jamboree coming up tonight. So we talked about several last night. We got some tonight out at Ohatchee. If you're a high school football fan, you want to be at Ohatchee tonight as they're hosting White Plains, Sandrock, Spring Garden, Westbrook Christian, and Ranburn. All are going to be on the creek bank at Ohatchee to play each other. Starting at 5:30, all these teams will be playing each other. It should be a great night. They'll play a couple of quarters apiece, and so you'll get a chance to see these teams compete. Really looking forward to what's to come tonight out there on the creek bank at Ohatchee, but some really good high school football happening there at Ohatchee tonight. So if you're just a high school football fan, that would be a great jamboree to go to. Check out these teams to get ready for the season opening up. Pleasant Valley is actually going to be up at Collinsville tonight with Hoax Bluff playing up in a jamboree up there. Several more jamborees happen across the state of Alabama and in East Alabama tonight. And so next week will be game week for high school football and college football. We'll be at Jacksonville State Tuesday for Rich Rod's opening press conference. We'll have game previews next week for high school football. So excited. Football season is here. Game week next week. We'll be all over it here on Southern Sports Now and East Alabama Now. So be sure to subscribe to the East Alabama Now Facebook page or YouTube page. Like the East Alabama Now Facebook page. Share it with your friends. Let's spread the word. It's football season. We've got you covered each and every day, Monday through Friday. We've got you covered here on Southern Sports Now and East Alabama Now with the best local sports content. So be sure to join us coming up Monday as we'll go full swing football here on Southern Sports Now. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday with more Southern Sports Now.